The delicate floral aroma of Earl Grey tea drifts upward from the fine bone china, mingling with the heavy, sweet scent of lavender perfume and the dusty smell of velvet curtains. You are an aristocratic woman of London, 1890, and you are currently being crushed into a masterpiece. The whalebone stays of your corset are pulled so tight they are physically fracturing your lower ribs, forcing your internal organs to shift upward into your chest and downward into your pelvis to achieve the impossible. 16-inch wasp waist. Your breath is a shallow, desperate gasp, but you are not reaching for a silver spoon to stir your tea. You are holding a delicate pair of silver tweezers. Pinched between the metal tips is a small, translucent, gelatinous pill that glows faintly in the gloomy window light. You do not hesitate. You place the pill on the back of your tongue and swallow it with a single elegant sip of warm tea. Inside that gelatinous shell is not a medicine. There is no mineral or herb. There is a single microscopic living cyst of Taenia saginata. You wait, perfectly still, as the warmth of your own body and the hydrochloric acid of your stomach begin to melt the protective gelatin. Within the hour, the monster is born inside you. It is a biological hitchhiker, a prehistoric parasite designed for one single relentless purpose: to consume. You feel a sudden, bizarre flutter deep in your abdomen. Not the flutter of a nervous heart, but a subtle, shifting movement. You are now biologically pregnant with a parasite by choice. You have invited a silent executioner to live in your guts, entirely ignorant of the fact that once this creature takes hold, your own body will no longer belong to you. It has begun its industrial harvest of your very life force. Welcome to the year 1890. You are no longer just a daughter of the elite. You are a profitable biological vessel, trapped inside the golden cage of the Victorian beauty market. The system operating here is a ruthless industrial grinder of social expectation. In this era, the boticarios and charlatans of London sell death in velvet-lined boxes, marketing parasites as hygienic solutions for the modern woman. The newspapers of 1890 carry elegant, illustrated advertisements for these pills, promising an effortless path to beauty without the vulgarity of exercise or the weakness of hunger. This is the era that romanticized the wasting death of tuberculosis, celebrating the pale skin and fragile frame of the dying as the height of fashion. Engulfing a worm is not seen as madness. It is seen as the ultimate medical secret of the elite. If you have the iron stomach required to keep descending into this parasitic pit with me, hit the like button now. It is the absolute price of admission to the high society morgue. Only the brave survive the unvarnished truth of the Victorian beauty industry. The industrial grinder here is not a military machine. It is a pharmaceutical one. The boticarios pack these tapeworm cysts into elegant apothecary jars, stripping the parasite of its visceral, squirming reality and turning it into a clean commercial product. They tell you that the worm is your friend, a biological servant that will eat the excess of your life so you can remain a statue of Victorian perfection. You pay your sovereigns, you swallow the pill, and you smile at your reflection, completely unaware that the servant is currently unfolding its hooks. You believe the system has given you a shortcut. You are entirely, tragically wrong. The biological deception has just cleared your stomach, and the real ritual of horror is moving into your small intestine. Let us brutally dissect the microscopic mechanics of your biological hijacking. Once the cyst reaches the warm, alkaline environment of your duodenum, the silent protocol begins. The tapeworm emerges from its shell. It does not have eyes. It does not have a heart. It is a machine of pure hunger. At its tip is the scolex, a specialized head equipped with 4 powerful muscular suckers and a terrifying crown of sharp, chitinous hooks. It drives these hooks directly into the delicate, highly vascular mucosal lining of your intestinal wall. It anchors itself into your raw meat, securing its position in the dark, rhythmic tunnel of your gut. Within weeks, the head fake begins to manifest. You feel incredible. You can attend the most lavish 8-course banquets at the manor house, consuming mountains of roasted pheasant, buttered asparagus, and heavy cream pastries. And yet, the needle on the scale does not move. In fact, it drops. Your waistline shrinks as if by magic. You are the envy of every ballroom in London. Your skin is translucent. Your eyes are bright with a feverish energy, and you are finally small enough to fit into the most restrictive Parisian silk. You think the miracle is working. This is the biological deception. Beneath the surface of your elegant silk dress, the monster is growing at an industrial speed. A tapeworm can grow up to 30 feet, long inside the human body. It is composed of thousands of individual segments, called proglottids. Each segment is a self-contained reproductive factory, absorbing nutrients directly through its skin from the semi-digested food passing by. The worm is now a high-velocity biological siphon. It is intercepting your calories, your vitamins, and your minerals before they can ever reach your bloodstream. You are eating for two, but only one of you is getting stronger. The sensation changes. The subtle flutter becomes a heavy, nauseating contortion. You lie in your dark bedroom, feeling a rhythmic, squirming movement deep behind your navel that makes your skin crawl. You can feel the physical weight of the creature as it shifts and coils within the narrow confines of your intestines. You are being hollowed out from the inside. You are suffering from severe malnutrition, while your stomach is perpetually full. You are losing your hair, your nails are brittle, and your heart is beginning to skip beats because the parasite is stealing the very electrolytes your nerves need to fire. The servant has become the executioner, and it is nowhere near finished with its harvest. This is the ultimate, crushing moment of biological betrayal. You have reached your ideal weight, but the miracle will not stop. You have stopped taking the pills, but the monster does not care. It is a permanent resident now. You are dying of starvation while possessing a bloated, waterlogged abdomen. Your face is no longer elegantly pale. It is the color of wet ash. You are fainting in the parlor, your body finally collapsing under the strain of hosting a 30-foot biological thief. You call for the physician. In 1890, there are no clean, broad-spectrum antiparasitic medications. There is no pill to dissolve the intruder. The medical system of the era turns to a ritual of desperation. A doctor arrives with his heavy leather bag. He does not bring a scalpel. He brings a bowl of steaming milk and a set of iron tongs. He orders you to fast for 3 days. You sit in your darkened room, your stomach screaming in agony as the starving tapeworm begins to frantically thrash inside you, its hooks tearing at your intestinal lining as it searches for food. Then comes the cure. The doctor places a cup of warm, aromatic milk directly in front of your open mouth. Or, in more horrific variations of the treatment, he places the bait at the other end of your digestive tract. The logic is as primitive as the era. The worm is hungry, and it will follow the scent of food to the exit. Imagine the sensation. You sit in absolute silence, paralyzed by nausea, as you feel the massive, segmented body of the worm begin to unhook itself and slide upward. You feel the cold, wet, muscular slither in your esophagus. It reaches the back of your throat. A pale, white, flat head emerges into your mouth, tasting the air. The doctor stands ready with the silver tongs, waiting to grab the creature and pull it inch by agonizing inch out of your throat. If he pulls too fast, the body of the worm will snap, leaving the head still hooked deep inside you, where it will simply grow a new 30-foot body in a matter of weeks. But there is a much darker head fake hiding in the biology of the parasite. If you had swallowed the pilula of Taenia Solium, the pork tapeworm, you are in a much more lethal game. While the adult worm lives in the gut, its microscopic eggs can penetrate the intestinal wall and enter your central bloodstream. They migrate. They seek out high oxygen environments. They settle in your muscle tissue, your eyes, and eventually your brain. This is cysticercosis. The eggs form hard, calcified cysts in your cerebral cortex. You begin to suffer from violent, inexplicable convulsions. You experience a rapid descent into Victorian hysteria or total madness as the parasite literally creates holes in your thinking brain. The quest for a 16-inch waist has ended in a neurological execution. The history books hide these details behind the grit and glory of Victorian fashion. I bring the secrets of the squirming throat and the brain cysts to light. If you want to see the truths they buried, subscribe now. I am digging through these charnel houses so you don't have to. The tragic, horrific failures of the Victorian tapeworm diet left a trail of malnourished, hysterical, and dead women across the elite of Europe and America. We look back at 1890 and we laugh at the barbarism of engulfing a live worm for a fashion trend. We feel incredibly secure in our modern world of gym memberships and regulated dietary supplements. But that is the final global biological deception. The physiological reality of 1890 is sitting right outside our modern window. We have not banned the desire for a biological shortcut. We've simply rebranded it. We've made the marketing exponentially safer, more complex for modern regulators to detect, and infinitely more efficient at targeting the same human insecurities. The horrific origins of the parasite diet haven't vanished. We look at the smooth faces on our digital screens, and we see people injecting Ozempic, a powerful diabetes medication, purely to shut down their hunger and wither their bodies into a specific aesthetic shape, often risking systemic organ failure and permanent metabolic damage. We still modify our biology with aggressive bariatric surgeries that physically butcher the stomach to prevent it from ever being full again. We haven't changed the ritual. We've just refined the syringes and the surgical steel. The question remains, echoing from the velvet parlor of 1890. If society demanded an unattainable standard of beauty, and the only way to achieve it was to host a 30-foot monster that crawled inside you every second of the day, would you swallow the pill? Would you choose the internal monster or the social exile? Answer carefully. The history of dark medicine is written in the impossible choices we make when our vanity overpowers our survival instinct. Make your physiological dilemma known in the comments below. The archivista is logging your answers, and the silver tweezers are still holding the cyst. But vanity was not the only form of mutilation in the Victorian era. Some doctors of the time truly believed that it was not fashion that drove the people into the darkness of madness, but the very phases of the universe itself. In the shadows of the city, the system was building massive, damp stone fortresses for those whose minds had broken. Click the video on your screen right now to enter the horrifying world of the Victorian asylum, illuminated by the blood moon, and I'll see you in the archives.